Today I'll be switching this, what should have been a 12 card mining rig. I'm going to switch these 8 cards to this other little frame I built. It's about 23.5 inches long. I'm going to try to fit 8 1660 supers, the single fan. This rig should have held 12, but for some reason this motherboard, the PCIe slots, these last 2 don't work, and if I plug those into these extra spots on the expansion cards, none of the expansion cards work. I tried everything I could think of, and I don't know if it's a faulty motherboard or what, but I can't get 12 to work on it. So right now it's on Hive through the USB stick. So I gotta disconnect everything and then switch it over to this frame. Alright, got the GPUs taken off. I just flipped them to the back. The little screws holding the motherboard are off. Now I'll just hold the motherboard, slide the frame out, and then I'll slide the new frame in place and put the cards back on top. Alright, old frame's out, motherboard, power supply are back in. Now I just need to put all these cards back up here. They're going to be close, but they're 16 supers. They usually don't get very hot, but I'm still going to add 4 fans I think will fit. These 120 millimeter fans, I got a ton of them there, all of those down here. So I'll hook all that up next. And all 8 cards are now in. When I screw these to the wooden frame, I use these little, I think it's a number 2 wood screw. It's a thinner threads. I just put one in the front and then one on the riser in the back. I don't bother about putting too many screws in. In the motherboard I usually do one in the front and then one in the back here. And that's it. It holds them just fine. Now I got the fans put on. When I connect these, I just use these little zip ties to connect the fans together. One on the front and the bottom, and then one on the back on the top, and then these bigger zip ties to hold it to the wooden frame. And then with the extra hole underneath, I'll zip tie the little wires to the back side of the frame underneath just to keep them up, and then kind of bundle them all together off to the side for the Molex. Now we plug it in and hope everything works. So I turned it back on, and at first these fans weren't working, so I had to go into my little stockpile of extra wires, find the braided wire, the one that goes with the Corsair power supply, because apparently the pins are different, and now the fans work. So it's on, it's going into Hive. Hopefully it finds all the GPUs, and yeah, should be good to go. So I went from a frame that big onto that big. So now I'll move this out to the garage and work on the next project. I like to see, it says 8 GPUs. It must be working. For the 8-card rig in the back room, these are the temperatures and fan speed. And these are the temperatures after moving the 8 cards to a smaller frame and adding the extra fans. Looks like one's still 79% speed. That's better than what it was. They are closer together now. And this is what they look like on Hive. It says 113% efficiency. Now it's 130. It's 88 mega hash, 610 watts. I think this one's mining Neaxa. I don't remember. Neaxa or Ravencoin. Seems to be doing just fine.